Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Rain and storms have been firing up around the region today, and if you haven't seen them yet, there's still a chance this evening. It's a first alert weather day, so let's get the latest from Hutch.
Yes, it's been raining and thundering for several hours up in the Northern Valley. We did have a few early afternoon storms. They've been efficient rainmakers. This is Munich, the park in town flooding there. Thanks, Stephanie, for uploading your photos. Rainfall estimates from Doppler radar from this 3 to 6 inches up there in Cavalier County as the storms have been slow movers and persistently raining. Those are now moving into northwest Minnesota. We're monitoring down south of this line here for development. We're believing that storms should be firing any time, but it's possible that that veil of high clouds that have been over us will limit some of the potential today for severe weather. Nonetheless, we do have a risk of severe weather. Numerous severe storms are possible in the orange area. The slight risk area will see the chance of a few severe thunderstorms. Tonight, we have that wind damage would be the main concern. Some hail upwards of 2 inches in diameter. Flooding, rains, and an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. Watching for areas where we are getting some sunshine to kind of help fuel things, and that would be on the far eastern side. But we'll continue to monitor things here. If storms approach your area tonight, know that they could quickly become severe. Andrea, the best chance of strong storms is from the Red River Valley and points east. If you're out west, we're not expecting too much chance of severe weather. And it looks like our chance of severe weather should be out of here, our entire viewing area, by 10 o'clock tonight. I'll have the latest in your hour-by-hour forecast in a few moments.
All right, thanks, Hutch. The Cass County Sheriff's Department has announced one of their employees will be suspended and have to attend diversity training after the jail staffer's, quote, insensitive video went viral on social media. Deputy Tori Holland's TikTok video, which has since been deleted, featured a woman speaking with a Native American accent while in her vehicle, saying every time a Native American gets in their vehicle, they end up at the liquor store. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with Sheriff Jesse Johnner today, who says the department is using this as a way to make positive change in the community.
Sheriff Jesse Johnner says while the easiest option would have been to terminate Correctional Officer Tori Holland, easy doesn't always mean it's the right thing to do.
And I looked at this and I thought that going through an educational disciplinary plan allows us to start bringing about those changes that many people are asking about.
Johnner says Holland didn't realize at first how problematic the video was.
And so once she realized that and took a step back and we had visited, she really did understand that, hey, this wasn't a good thing.
And says Holland has since apologized to both him and the entire department for her actions. Johnner says most of Holland's supervisors recommended she be terminated, but Johnner says it was important he get insight from the local Native American community before making his final decision. And he says while leaders were disappointed in Holland's actions, they didn't feel she should lose her job.
They were understanding that, hey, this is a perfect opportunity to make change. And they came up with, I ran some ideas by, and they thought that was very good. And some of them made some additional suggestions, which I placed in there.
On top of unpaid suspension, Holland must also get involved with the Native American community and give a presentation on what she learns, something Johnner says he hopes helps the entire department.
You never want anything to happen, but sometimes some things need to happen so that we can make positive changes and go forward and do things better.
In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Sheriff Johnner says all employees go through anti-bias and diversity training, but says he is reviewing how often those trainings happen and if there's more that needs to be done for his staff. A man from Detroit Lakes will serve 12 years in prison for killing someone at a graduation party. 19-year-old Ronald Thompson III was sentenced last week after he pleaded guilty to the charges of first-degree manslaughter and felon in possession of a firearm. Becker County Sheriff's deputies and White Earth police officers responded on June 9, 2019 to a shooting at a home about 20 miles northeast of Detroit Lakes. At the scene, law enforcement located the body of 27-year-old Jamie Lee Bevins Jr. An 18-year-old woman is being cited for driving under the influence and reckless driving after causing a crash in Napoleon, North Dakota. It happened yesterday when authorities say Sophia Svanes was traveling on Highway 3 and rapidly accelerating when she rear-ended a vehicle driven by a 17-year-old juvenile. The force of the collision caused the vehicle to leave the roadway and strike a house. Svanes was taken to Sanford Hospital in Bismarck with injuries. Both the juveniles in the other vehicle were not injured. The 69-year-old driver of a Lidgerwood school bus that was hit by a train last winter is now being charged with aggravated reckless driving. Michael John Scroach is scheduled to appear in Richland County Court on July 27th for the charge, which is considered a Class A misdemeanor. North Dakota Highway Patrol says despite Scroach telling troopers he didn't see the oncoming train, evidence shows he was aware of the train. 20 students were on board the bus. 5 students were taken to area hospitals. A 16-year-old girl was taken by helicopter to Sanford Hospital. Despite coronavirus concerns, Japan remains optimistic the Olympic Games will move forward next year as planned. While Tokyo continues its medal-worthy preparations, athletes are adapting to the changes in timeline and training. CBS's Ian Lee reports.
To some, he's known as Fly Mo. To others, Sir Mo. But to Brits, he's 4-time Olympic gold. Unlike many of his competitors, Mo Farah is taking the delay to Tokyo's Games in stride.
So having postponed, it actually helps me a bit more because I can do more races. It gives me a year to do more track races and then go into the Olympics.
The world's finest athletes were set to descend on Japan this month before the 2020 Games were postponed. But even as Tokyo battles a rise in coronavirus infections, the mayor vows next year's Games will go on as scheduled. I want to host the Olympics as a symbol of the world coming together, says Tokyo's leader, to overcome this tough situation and of strengthened bonds among humankind. That tough situation has forced athletes around the world to improvise, turning homes into training centers. In Argentina, canoeist Sebastian Rossi is using his girlfriend's swimming pool, while in Russia, basketball players keep fit by pulling their cars down the road. But back in the UK, even a man knighted by the Queen isn't getting a royal treatment during the pandemic.
I'm lucky I've got the treadmill at home, so I've been running my treadmill, and sometimes, I've been going once, exercise outside.
All staying in shape for what's shaping up to be a highly anticipated Olympic Games. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Postponing the Games comes with a hefty price tag. Experts project the additional costs will be close to $3 billion. The head of the International Olympic Committee says it would have been easier and cheaper to have canceled the Games instead. State health officials are confirming 108 new cases across North Dakota. Officials say this brings the total active cases to 702. 28 of the new cases were reported in Cass County. No new deaths have been linked to the illness, meaning the death toll stays at 87. 43 patients are being hospitalized for the illness. Over 3,600 are listed as recovered. In Minnesota, the state health department is reporting 499 new COVID-19 cases in the state. This brings the active case count in Minnesota to 4,069. Officials say 2 new deaths are also being reported, which brings the death toll to 1,504. Just over 37,000 Minnesotans are listed as recovered from the virus. Essentia Health has released its updated visitor guidelines to help protect patients and staff from the transmission of COVID-19. Beginning immediately, 1 visitor per patient per day will be allowed at Essentia Health facilities. Visitors are allowed between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. daily. Adult COVID-19 patients will not be allowed to have visitors except in end-of-life situations. All those who enter an Essentia facility will undergo a screening process, including a variety of questions and having your temperature taken. Visitors will be required to wear a mask at all times inside the facility, frequently clean their hands, and practice social distancing. Governor Doug Burgum is expected to release re-entry guidance for West Fargo Public Schools tomorrow. A post on their Facebook page says their weekly update will come after that guidance, and they hope to share their intentions as soon as possible, with a more detailed plan to come by the end of the month. A North Fargo man is once again able to get around town after someone donated a new tricycle over the weekend. Ron Odell says after he posted on Facebook and after we ran our story about someone stealing his tricycle, many people in the community reached out to help him. Odell says he's now the proud owner of a new trike that will help him once again get out of the house. Still ahead on Valley News Live at 5, after more than 2 decades of resisting calls to change the name of his team, the owner of the Washington Redskins decides a change is in order.
Our temperatures reached the mid-80s today in the FM area. Some strong to severe thunderstorms are possible as we head through the evening. I'll have your hour-by-hour forecast, and we'll track those storms next.